Hi guys. All right, if you're new here, then welcome. It's always great to have new people. If you're not, then welcome back to the OGs. All right, we're gonna get started on a collective. Whew. All right, I'm gonna start off by cleansing the energy within and around me. My intention is to light the stage. Is to remove all negative and stagnant energy from within and around me, so that I can provide the collective with accurate messages. Okay. All right. Yes, we can pull some of a little bit of everything from these. There's an energy within and around these decks. Some of you guys could be experiencing some type of STI like BV or something like that, or be mindful that this can happen to you in the future. When we're talking about situations, it could be confirming past, present, and future energy. Okay? Yeah, and then confirmation. This most definitely is not something that's normal. I know people, like a lot of doctors like to tell you, oh no, this is very normal. But no, it's because you're connecting with people who are not as clean, who may have multiple partners, or maybe you have multiple partners. But confirmation, I feel like it's something that you need to release, or someone you need to release. Okay? May even be people who are traveling to where you are. All right, somebody that could be desperate or thirsty. And the thing is that people know what they have, whether it's a lot of women, a lot of men, STIs, STDs. People know this, they just don't tell you. All right, so yeah, practice safe relations sexually. I mean, I would say just to become abstinent until you find the person that's truly meant for you, because this is something that's sacred anyway. And I don't feel like it should be done with any and everybody. Imagine the people who you already had sexual relations with, how some of y'all probably regret even doing something with them in the first place, or how it was really just for nothing. You were the one that was pleasing them, if anything, right? So that's like a short, quick message for some of you guys who may be experiencing that. You can also be dealing with people who are heavily smokers. They have like a high tolerance. Be mindful of, if this is you, paranoia, this can up your paranoia as well. So maybe try becoming used to living life sober, so you can get used to it again. All right, I know people make it sound normal and cool to do, like, oh, it's really nothing, it's, you know, it's a herb. But like, you got to be mindful. If you want to make your own stuff and then create it out of an edible, then that's fine, because at least you're not getting smoke in the lungs. At least you're not dealing with other chemicals that may be involved, or people who are not as, you know, they don't have integrity, so they put stuff in it. I could be talking to somebody that's of performing arts. Maybe you're an entertainer, maybe you like entertainment, okay? Theater, music, dance, stuff like that. All right, independence or freedom is here. So this can be talking about individual self, releasing all codependency, whether it's on substances, people, whatever the case may be, or this can just be freeing yourself from toxic connections, promiscuous relationships, lack of protective sexual relations. It can really be anything, you know, based on what we were talking about. Freeing yourself from substance abuse, addictions. I know sometimes it doesn't seem like that's the case, but 9 times out of 10, it is an addiction, okay? Any more messages here for the collective? All right, we got a follower coming out, and on the back it says flexing, hashtag show out. All right, those messages can go together, but they don't have to. So first of all, confirm non-leader and follower. We got change your number. Okay, some of you guys should change your number. Confirm, flexing, showing out. We got religion or church. Some people could be flexing or showing out for the wrong reasons, to be honest, especially with this religious stuff coming out. Maybe they could be religious. It says, I'm set in my ways because I've been like this my whole life. So yeah, for those of you who are steady trying to hold on to a person because you feel you're very optimistic and you holding on to potential, don't do that. Don't do what everybody else is doing, because in reality, you're only hindering yourself. You're only slowing down your healing journey. Angel number 99 could be significant. 999. I feel that you are protected, and I feel like you're coming into a life of stability, but sometimes you have to co-create with the universe. Sometimes God and your spiritual team and whoever else you believe in, they're not going to tell you, go this way, do this, do that. You know, it's like your life. You are the creator as well. So you could be completing things. There could be endings. They bring new beginnings. So if you need to change your number, then I advise you to do so. If you need to block a few people, then I advise you to do so. But yeah, you don't have to listen to everybody else and follow behind everybody else who still be trying to give people thousands of chances. Or you don't have to do what your old self would have done, which is give people thousands of chances, right? Because in reality, these people can't really do anything for you. The months February, April, June, August, October, and December could be very significant. Okay? Religion or church could be very significant. They go to STDs, honey. Very significant. Then we got dependents. Children or people who depend on you. It could be grown-ass people. Could be very significant. So, yeah, sometimes you got to do different to see different. You know, if you want different results, you got to do differently. If before in your life you always connected with people, you grew up around people, you had school, you had society, it was never taught to you to get to know yourself, to be on this individual journey, then you're already used to societal norms. You're already used to being in a matrix lifestyle or mentality, right? So you have to really adapt to this new version of yourself. There's a lot of things that your spirit, your soul is ready to release, and you have to mind, body, and soul get those things into order. But you're the only one that can do that, right? We all are autonomous human beings, right? But you can't forget that you're a spiritual being in a human body. In a human body, you're having a human experience. It's not meant to be like chaotic, destructive, always crying, always got your heart broken. Like sometimes it's just your own awareness, your own poor choices. We give ourselves karma in our lives. So if you want a life that you enjoy, that you like, how about you get back into your passion? Some of y'all like theater, some of y'all like music, some of y'all like dance. All right, you probably may have fallen into the wrong crowd where you started picking up smoking habits, or where you started just following the leader, right? But in reality, you're meant to be the leader. You're not meant to be behind everybody else. You're meant to be in executive positions, make executive decisions, right? You have a refined intellect if you resonate with this message. And when you put your mind to something, you know, your heart follows, regardless, passions, etc. You know, there it comes, where there is will, there comes determination, right? But sometimes you just gotta heal, you know, deprogram to reprogram, so you can actually live in the present moment and heal from the past and have like a future that you probably never, like, that you probably dreamt of but never thought could become a reality, right? Because maybe your childhood dreams was shattered or whatever the case may be. But sometimes it just takes what they say, a faith of a mustard seed, right? Mustard seeds are very small. Faith of a chia seed. That's really all that it takes, because these things are very, very strong. And I don't know why I was thinking of beliefs. A lot of times you can believe in things that are false, things that don't really resonate with your soul or spirit. You know, that it happens sometimes. Just like how you can be lied to, misled, misguided, give false information. So I would say, if you're going to rely on anything, rely on your inner compass and to go based off of your knowing, right? Rather than beliefs. But if you do have beliefs and you go based off of those, then make sure they're not restricting you from anything. Make sure they're not instilling fear. Make sure it's positive, you know, because anything that's negative is false anyway. You got to train your mind to believe that. I feel like we come into a world that's so negative, so disunioned, you know, so hateful, to the point to where we don't really see a lot of good that's normal. But that's for you to spread around, honey. Leave it to everybody else. Hell, the world is still going to be a horrible place. So you're the generational curse breaker. You're the one. I don't want to put the weight of the world on your shoulders, because I mean, you let grown people do what grown people do and just get your life in order. You didn't come here for their soul's purpose. You came here for you. But at the end of the day, you know, allow your heart to lead, but also use your wisdom that you've obtained. You didn't go through all these things for nothing. All right? Yeah, somebody don't want you to leave them. It says, don't leave me. Maybe this could be your own energy. That's why I'm saying, if you got some codependent energy that you know you need to work on, then make sure you do that. 12-11, 12-10, or 10-11, 10-12 could be very significant. 1-1-2. But yeah, I feel like you're saying, like, well, I don't want you anymore. Somebody is saying, I don't want you anymore, while the other person is like, don't leave me. And then somebody's like, well, I don't want you anymore. Some of y'all could be going through that. You know, apply the roles how it fits, because not everybody's situation is, you know, identical. Whoever this is, they could be praying for you guys to be in each other's lives again. I feel like this was a situation that probably was more complicated than anything. You know, those connections that are like single, taken, is complicated type shit. Like, that's what it's giving. Maybe situationships could be significant. That's why you got to stop putting yourself in these type of energies, because we have free will. Like I told you, sometimes you think, oh, my life is going like this because it's just destiny. You have free will in your life. Like, destiny is one thing, fate is another, which is hand in hand. But come on now, okay? Then we have weirdo energy. A lot of times y'all be dealing with people who are not even on your level. You know what I'm saying? If you was really tapped in with your third eye, or your highest self, or whatever the case may be, half these people you wouldn't pay no attention to, honey. So, let's see. If you guys are wanting to get on the list is open. Questions, readings, life coaching sessions. All right. My payment options are in the link in my bio. I'm recording on 2 different lives. So, for you guys, this is my backup account, the Wise Counsel. So, if you click my bio, you'll see my main account. All right. For you guys over here, my backup account is probably in my links. But yeah. It says looking for love, that we have obligations or responsibilities. See, some people be out here looking for love, trying to date you, and that's why you shouldn't allow people, the first person, the second person, or whoever that pops up in your energy, especially love bombers, to give them a chance. Like, because a lot of people, they just be speaking from hormones, lust. They don't have the common sense God gave them. They don't have morals, integrity. A lot of people can have on a mask, and they can try to come off in a certain way that they're not impersonating, right? Impersonating the divine masculine, impersonating the divine feminine. Readings, I have different prices for my readings. I have $25 readings, $35 readings, and $50 readings. The more it is, the more in depth that it is. Questions are $777. I thought I had another reading price, but I think that's it. But yeah, for those of you who can't afford my prices, I do accept donation-based reads. All right. Faith restored, positive beliefs, optimism. If you haven't come into this energy yet, you're going to be. But for some of you guys, you're slowly coming into your faith becoming restored again. You know, having positive beliefs again, being optimistic, especially about the right things. You know how you can be very hopeful to the wrong person, going based off potential? Yeah, that's a huge risk. But in other cases where it matters, right? Being positive that life is going to look different. Being hopeful that you're going to get those opportunities. Like, that's what I'm talking about right there. Air energy, this can also tie to Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Or it can tie to the mental, the intellect, right? You could be very intelligent. This can also just be energy of the mind, okay? Could be thoughts, Could be intuitive downloads. Like, everybody's situation will be different. All right, if you guys want to send in your payment, you can just click the link in my bio and you scroll all the way down to where it says payment options. I have Apple Pay, PayPal, Chime, Cash App. I don't have Venmo. There's another one that I can't think of. But yeah, it's in the bio. Yeah, see, some of y'all was dealing with opportunities. Going back to what I was talking about before, some people be out here looking for love and they don't even be qualified. You know what I'm saying? That's why we have these high divorce rates and this and that, but people want to calculate the wrong stuff. Oh, let's go based off statistics. No, let's go based off self-respect and what women deserve, what men deserve, and how we're not connecting with the right people. You know, so you have to start connecting with the right people, whether that's business, whether that's friends, whether it's creating you a new family dynamic, whether that's lovers, right? Because if you want to see change, or if you want to see new results, then change has to be done. Change has to be a thing. Like, change could be scary at times. It could be something that's out of your comfort zone, but in reality, it could be the most rewarding, especially operating from a space of being on this hamster wheel or learning these traditions that don't even serve you, right, in the best way. Yeah, bare minimum. Bare minimum. Thank you so much for the gifts. All right. If you're able to double tap the screen so my live can start pushing out more. For some reason, I think they're like keeping my live down, but if you're able to like double tap, share a gift, that would be great. Thank you so much. So yeah, some of y'all are dealing with not opportunities. Maybe some of these people need to get their vocabulary up. Maybe some of y'all are dealing with people who are not on your intellectual wave path, like wavelength, frequency, vibration, whatever you want to call it. So you got to stop settling for stuff. It's not that God is placing people in your energy. And, ooh, this may be an opportunity here. Ooh, and that's also significant for those of you who are also in the opportunist energy, because it can happen. You know, sometimes you find yourself to be in narcissistic energy, right? But this opportunist energy, don't be so much in this opportunist energy, seeking out these opportunities that you don't become mindful of the things that you're going towards or that you're receiving or that you're accepting. Don't ever become too greedy. Don't ever become too much in the opportunist energy, right? Not every opportunity is a good one, okay? First person that comes to you don't mean that they're going to be a soulmate. Like I said, some of these people be carrying diseases, give you STIs, knock off that pH balance, bring drama in your life, create a heartbreak. Now you got to heal. Now you've been stuck on a situation for 3 to 1 years. That's still too long. So, like I said, I feel like y'all went through enough to finally come into freeing yourself from a lot of things. But maybe there's still something that lingers. Maybe you're still walking out of a chapter. Or maybe you ended that chapter and you're coming into new. But you got to be mindful of not going backwards, right? For some of you guys, because, you know, this is a collective. It's not a personal reading. That's why I encourage you to get your own personal messages if you feel called to. Somebody, they have someone else, right? There's someone else, but it's giving this energy. I got someone else, but you belong with me. What in the narcissist? Okay? What in the narcissist? Now, the reason why I say apply it to how it fits, like if your intuition has been telling you that someone has someone else, and for others of y'all like, nah, I don't think they got somebody else, then okay, that message may not be for you. And for the other people who intuitively feel this is your confirmation, you know, so that's just what I mean. Like, take the messages how it resonates. You know, if something doesn't exist to you yet, maybe fortune telling could be going on and now you just discovered something that you didn't know. Or it could just be for somebody else, okay? So just keep that in mind. Because, baby, I am not here to stress you out. I'm just here to give you some messages. But at the end of the day, I also don't feed delusions, okay? It says, I know you better than you. Yeah, see, some of y'all was dealing most definitely with people who are just in weird energy. Like, how do you have a perspective as such? It just don't make sense. You dealing with people who are followers and you're a leader. You're dealing with people who are very slow. And I do mean that on an intellectual level. While you have this refined intellect, okay? You dealing with people who are out looking for love, looking for people to love them, to fill that void, and you out here doing it, like, operating in a healthy way. If you looking for love, it's genuine. You know what I'm saying? Other people, they just want something from somebody. They want to feel something. And for these people who are trying to feel something with other people, that will never happen. Especially if you're like this earth angel, this starseed, this amazing energy, right? They're not going to find the same thing twice because they already fumbled. Unless a divine being just give them a chance. But I doubt that would ever happen. Because, like, I just feel like people give themselves karma for sure. Like, they just curse themselves because it's giving that energy. That's probably why that religion stuff popped up. Like, touch not my anointed. That comes from religion. At least that's what they say. Okay, it probably don't. And you know, religion was created by human beings. Maybe they just toss things around that they heard from somebody else. Okay, but anyways, these people they was messing with the wrong folks. You can't mess with an earth angel like that. Like, people who literally are on the plane, who are very genuine, no matter what, they can go through thousands of things and they still not out here dishing out trauma and all this other stuff. You most definitely finna live a miserable life. So that's why I feel like I don't really think that we'll ever come across a love like yours again, because maybe they didn't ruin their life. Hell, you know. Military or government jobs could be very significant. And we got gifts or sharing on the back. So, you know, that could be anything. Gifts, sharing, birthdays, generosity, volunteer work. Like, that can really, it can really be really, really broad. But I'm sure you know your life better than anyone. Just apply it how it fits, you know. Don't forget, past, present, future energy could be very significant. So if this future related, then maybe you're going to have a gift coming in. Maybe your rewards are going to be coming in, you know. On the back, we got, I am living a double life. So for those of you who feel like somebody is doing right by you, or if you have this hunch that maybe it may be someone else, or they're not who they say they are. Because some people could be living a double life, as in they portray a whole different image to you versus the world. Or they have this whole other life that they're living with a whole nother person versus you. Like, that message can also be like, not as broad, I guess, but you know, it don't have to really be as specific or one thing. But yeah, some of y'all gain paranoia for sure, but that's only because you was dealing with desperate and thirsty people. Of course you would have these traumas, these fears, if you went through it already, and then if you connecting with somebody new and they match in that same weird energy, of course you're gonna get paranoid. So when something is confusing, when something is seeming like that, it's too complicated. We want to dead it before you get too attached. The key is to not get attached to anything, any damn way. Don't take anything personal in this life. And when I say don't take anything personal, because some of y'all are deep feeling individuals, you naturally take things personal. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, choose your battles. If you know that you're a deep feeling person that takes things personal, then maybe you can try to work on turning certain weaknesses into strengths, right? Giving yourself enlightenment, whatever the case may be. So I feel like y'all are literally kicking people to the curb. You got people who are like begging, pleading, dropping that ego finally, right? Which is only temporary, because they only doing it out of trying to get something they want, which is you. And like, don't get flattered when people do things that are like fucking, it's like when they do toxic stuff, like don't get flattered, honey. Oh, they trying to stick around, they still want me, but this person brought hella drama. They trying to fill a void. They have mother issues. They have father wounds. Like, it's just a whole bunch of stuff. We all can go through similar traumas, sexual abuse or whatever the case may be, right? But we're all still different, and we all face things differently. We all still, a lot of people still rise up into the best versions of themselves, where you got other people who blaming everybody for what they go through in life and who becomes mad at the world and like all this stuff. So some people are just not healthy. I don't care if it's your baby daddy. I don't care if it's your mom, your dad, your sister, brother, cousin. I don't care who this is, your childhood friend. Sometimes, once again, if you want to see different results, you got to welcome in change. I understand you grew up a certain way. I understand this is normal to you. But in reality, it was never meant to be that way, right? Forever. Like, of course, you a child. People can teach you. Religion, people can teach you. Yeah, go to school, do this. So all of this is going to be normal to you. A kid, they have these authority figures. You get taught, listen to your parent, your guardian, do this, do that. So, of course, anybody can train a kid to be really whatever they want here. So it just so happened that you came into like that energy. That don't mean you was meant to stay in that energy. You was just surrounded by other people who were blind. The blind leading the blind. And you're the generational curse breaker. That's why things seem, that's why you break out of things, right? But that's what I mean by you can't go back. Sometimes it may be tempting. Sometimes it's your comfort zone. Sometimes you may get confused. But I'm telling you, that's why you got to follow that inner compass, because you'll never lie. Your spirit, your soul, you never lie to yourself. You got to trust that feeling. All right, when you've been encouraged to cut people off, you know it's time. Don't try to go back into, well, we have history. Well, that's my child's father. Well, child. But it's your life, okay? Do what you want to do. But at the same time, let's promote growth. Let's promote change, honey. Let's promote listening to the wisdom. Okay? Paranoia should not exist. That's extreme. So it's just some inner work that you may need to do. It's some people who you need to stay the hell from around, because they're just not good for your energy, for your mind, body, or soul. Okay? We got tarot readers, or tarot readings could be significant. Maybe you want to get into divination. Maybe you're already into divination. Maybe people getting readings on you. You gotta apply that how it fits, okay? Then I'm thinking of that Let Her Cook song by Glorilla. It says, you are divinely protected. You're dealing with people who are functioning psychos. They have mental or behavioral issues. They so angry. They so bipolar, honey. And I mean this in the most sincere way ever, especially if you're a person with bipolarism. But we ain't talking about you, right? We talking about these other people who don't really have a good spirit, who don't really have good energy. Maybe some of you guys could be going through depression or anxiety disorders and stuff. But you're dealing with like functioning psychos. You know how you hear functioning addicts, which is basically people who are addicted to things, but they don't seem like they're addicted to it. So it's just that energy as well. Like some of y'all, you're really dealing with people who crazy as hell, but it don't really seem like they crazy for real. Like they should be in the psych ward, but in reality, they most definitely should. Okay. Hell, we ain't even get to split the deck. Shuffle. Energy already speaking. That's why I'm saying y'all already be getting the signs, the messages that you need. It ain't never too far behind. It's just all about trusting in yourself and everything like that. It says, why be unhappy when your soul is in full bloom? Okay, spiritual growth this year. Sometimes the 3D problems seem like it's way bigger than what's going on spiritually, but it's not. See, that don't even make sense. These 3D plane problems are not as big than what's going on spiritually. And sometimes you don't even realize the growth all the time. But you gotta know there's progress. You may be seeing the results or you may not. But if you're not, don't ever assume that there's no growth. Okay? It's given similar to some things manifest in the spiritual before they do the physical. Alright, any more messages for the collective? Thank you for the gifts and the likes. I appreciate it. Alright, we got, I really don't know you. These are in quotation marks, so somebody could have said this. Whether it was you, another person, apply the message how it fits. But on another note, some of you guys, somebody was probably more of a stranger than you thought. Family, friends, lovers. You truly did not know these people. See, you thought you knew them, but they were only operating from a space of a false mask. It wasn't who they were, okay? Shape-shifted into different forms of entities or energies. And you see how they can't keep up that energy for long because that's just not who they are. See, when it comes to you, you can't fake being a good person. You can't fake being, it's not on you, it's in you. You didn't learn it out of a book. You know what I'm saying? So it's very easy to tell who real and who not, who authentic, who not. Basically, I just said that. But you know what I'm saying? Who's on your level, who's not. Some people, they can't keep up the act for long, honey. And you already seen this. That's why experience bring forth wisdom. You just gotta trust in that wisdom, honey. Some people, they be trying to tell you stuff. Maybe at times it's fine to listen to what people say. But at the end of the day, you got your own life, and sometimes you gotta bump your own head. Sometimes it's just how it go. I know somebody was telling me not to get married. They did that in the wrong way possible. They probably should have said it a little differently. So I thought they was hating. In reality, I shouldn't have got married, honey. Thought they was being a little negative bitch. But, excuse my language. But in reality, that person just, ooh, that was my first heartbreak, child. That's when I was getting out of high school. And it's crazy because, you know what, iCloud, sometimes it saves messages and stuff. I'm seeing messages from 2019. What the hell? I just scroll random ass numbers. Who the fuck is this? I don't remember seeing that shit. Or whatever the case may be, and I look and I go in messages already saying how, well, I don't really want to get married. Or blah, blah, blah. I don't ever remember feeling like I did not want to get married. But then as I started thinking, I'm like, wait. I think I did mention that. Like, it's so crazy. Like, I don't know. So some of y'all could probably experience like memory loss or whatever because of all the trauma that you've been through. Like psychology says you go through a lot of things. Your brain tends to push things to the back of your mind, honey. Now you don't even remember half the life that you lived. Half the things that you said or done. This can even be, you can go in your journal that you wrote in like 3 years ago and be confused as hell. Like, damn, I wrote that. So, I don't know. It's fine, I guess, to take, you know, heed. That's what it is. Just take heed, you know, to just be cautious. Not necessarily allow others to project on you, cling to other people's beliefs, etc. You know, still do your own thing, operate how you want to operate. But just keep in mind, you know, take heed when necessary and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if you go through something, maybe it was just meant for you to bump your head. You know, if you knew better, you would have done better. So be gentle with yourself. Don't beat yourself up about things. We can be our worst critics, for sure. If you talking to a friend of yours, you're not going to be as nearly as hard on them as you are on yourself. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be very encouraging. You're going to be very, like, uplifting. You're going to talk nicely, talk calmly. You're going to be a really good friend, you know? So you got to be that really good friend to yourself, that lover to yourself, which I mean just loving yourself. Because you're a prize. You're a blessing in somebody's life, right? And you want to come into a connection with somebody who's also meant to be in your space. You know, so you got to heal from dealing with the weirdos and the low vibrational energies and the people who put you through hella trauma. You got to heal from that so you can restore yourself. Okay? Then you got to learn how to be alone. You're never really alone, but it's a good thing to know how to be alone, right? A lot of people in this world, they can't do it. You know, why do you think it's so shocking when you see people like, oh, going on a date by myself, doing this? I mean, a lot of things are becoming normalized now, which is great. Thank God for technology, right? But a lot of things weren't normal, and it's still not normal to a lot of people. But I guess you're not normal then, honey. You don't fit into the bunch. So you just got to do things differently than anybody else would. They tell you don't do something, maybe you'll do it. They tell you do something, maybe you'll do it differently or not do it at all. And that's fine. You just got to have your own mind. It says pretending to be in a requited connection. So you know how you hear about unrequited love, right? Basically a one-sided connection where the other person probably likes or loves the other person a little more than the other individual does. So somebody could be pretending to be in a requited connection, whether it's romance, whether it's platonic, which is very intimate, or whatever type of connections that don't involve sexual relations, so friends, family, stuff like that. I'm even seeing on the back of the deck a sibling's friend, like your brother or sister's friend could be significant. But somebody could be pretending to be in a requited connection, and if this is your energy, then it's just giving denial. But if this is somebody, when I say denial, I mean denying. Like, sometimes you think you like a person, but baby, they didn't push the like out of your ass. Like, you don't like them no more. All right. If this is another person towards you, the collective, then you got somebody who just got on a mask. They trying to act like they love you for real when they know damn well since a kid they weren't able to love nobody, because that ship has already sank. They're a grown-ass individual who got neglected by mom, dad, whoever, guardian. So a lot of things you're supposed to feel in your childhood, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of these people didn't feel it, so they walking around here like they don't have no huge ass void, like they can just love people in a healthy way. And I'm not even gonna say in a healthy way, because love is love, love is beautiful, and too many people go around claiming to love collective or love anybody when they know they can't even do that shit. So yeah, connect with people who are able to give and receive love, period. You're dealing with people who are narcissistic, you're dealing with people who emotionally immature, you're dealing with people who got these deep wounds and issues, and don't we all have things that we need to work on and heal from, right? But people really, their character, who they are, it's just not good. So y'all are nothing alike. You know, these people got demons. It's crazy. That's why they functioning psychos. They really losing it. They been lost it. They just pretending to be able to give and receive love, pretending that they like you for real, pretending that they got the common sense God gave them. Ooh, didn't I say that? See what they say? Denial. I told you, some of these people, or maybe you guys, that denial energy. Then we got fragile. See, something was fragile here, whether it was a person's confidence, whether it was a connection, whether it was any damn thing, honey. You know, just apply it to your own life. Our lives are very different, but we can all take messages, you know, being in a collective. So just really apply it how it fits. If it don't apply, let it fly to the next person. Maybe it's something that you have yet to realize, and it's probably gonna make sense in the future. Like, you know, if you guys you're not able to stay for this full message, or you missed the beginning, it will be uploaded to my YouTube. I try to make sure I upload all my lives on YouTube. The link is in my bio to find my YouTube and my Instagram. I'm trying to grow my Instagram, so if y'all want to follow my Instagram, that would be great. All right. Hi, honey, Grand Rising. We got success coming out. And on the back of this, it says failure, yeah. So these can go hand in hand. It, you know, doesn't have to. When I wrote them, I kind of wrote them to have their own meanings separately. But I'm also an intuitive, so that means I also go based off of what I feel. So it can really go hand in hand. The success and failure thing can go hand in hand, or it can just be, since success came out, some of y'all probably seen failure though, but since success came out, then that can just be the main energy. But some of you guys know that failure is not a thing. Okay, I don't feel like you really ever fail. I don't care if you fall on your face and you got to get back up. I don't really believe in failure. Okay? I don't really believe in that. But maybe something didn't work out, but regardless, whatever seemed like it's not working out, it really is. Okay? Or regardless of the losses, remember that losses are not necessarily losses, they're just lessons, right? I feel like regardless, you're still successful, because success is not about what you do, who you are. Well, I didn't mean to say who you are, but it's not about what you do. Like, oh yeah, I got my master's. I got about 3 degrees, you know what I'm saying? I got me 2 mansions, I'm doing the damn thing. That's really nice, right? But at the same time, success, I always feel like it's about who you are, like within. Because you can deal with snobby, you know what I'm saying, lack of integrity type of individuals who have all these things, but within them, they're not right within, right? Excuse me. So honestly, I feel like success is not about the prosperity. It's not about anything, because you can be a successful person and be in poverty, right? Because that's not really the importance of anything. I feel like everybody can come into wealth, though, for sure, because the universe is so abundant, and I don't feel like the universe is stingy. Like, I feel like it's like infinite, right? So I feel like there's always enough for everyone. But people's lives are just different for a reason, I feel like there's, like, it's more depth, DEPTH, to things rather than surface level shallow things. And I don't want to say like prosperity is shallow or nothing, but I'm just saying things that are more meaningful, because you can live a great life and not even come into like being this wealthy individual within prosperity. And then you got some people who can come into wealth within prosperity and just like vice versa type shit. But I guess the point that I'm making is, regardless, no accomplishment is too small, and to be easy on yourself. You're not taking a loss, you're just learning lessons, and that whatever you feel that you felt, that you didn't fail at all. And regardless, you're a successful individual, especially if you're like this earth angel, for sure. Like, your spirit and your soul is right, for sure. I feel you're successful regardless of what you're going through, regardless of what you're facing. I think we adapted to societal norms and feeling like this means you're successful, this means you're good looking, this means you're a good candidate for this. Child, we talking about people who elected the president of the damn United States, who should not be a damn president. So if anything, people don't know what the hell they talking about or what the hell they doing. Okay? You gotta go based off of morals, integrity. People just, the blind leading the blind, goofy, foolish individuals. That's why I say the people that are in these high status positions, you're more qualified to be there. But I mean, sometimes you can't just poof and be in that energy. Sometimes you got to put in that action, co-create with the universe. Sometimes it's about balancing out spirituality and practicality. But hey, I'm sure you guys, you'll get it. Like, for sure. You got people who will hate on you for spreading positive messages, for standing up for you, men hating on men for standing up for women. I see it all day on social media. Stuff just don't make sense. Why are you calling another man? Is it homosexual? I can't think of it. Why are you calling another man that? Because they're taking up for women. Like, people don't make sense. But they think they do. They be so loud and wrong at the same time. So you already know. You live in the world, the same earth, honey. People is just, I don't even know. That's why you got to connect with people who are on your level. Mind, body, soul wise. Because this world is a crazy place. Look, dark energy. Can't really see it, but dark in Matrix. It's crazy, right? When I was writing these, I was just channeling. So it's funny how, you know, the synchronicities. Dark energy and Matrix. That Matrix is filled with nothing but dark energy, man. You dealing with human beings who ain't shit, who should be needing to sit down and listen to you all, who probably in the back. You know what I'm saying? Alienating yourself, not putting yourself out there. I ain't saying all of y'all doing that. But see, these people, they putting themselves in the spotlight. They coming into these executive positions. They doing this and doing that. You too can do it, especially because you're more qualified. You think these people really got there because of intellect? Because of this? No. Half the time, it's nepotism. They know someone. They were raised in a family of this, and that. Like, you know? So sometimes it may be a little harder for the good people. See, sometimes people come into your life and they cause chaos and injustice. So it seems like every time you try to take a step forward, you're going 3 steps back. Damn, every time I'm trying to grasp at this opportunity, it seems like it's pulling away from me. Don't have a mental breakdown. That's why it's important to check back in with yourself, do your self-care and your self-love and stuff like that. Because you are your most prized possession. You're very important. Okay? But you have to know this, or you're not going to connect with people who are better for you. You're going to continue to settle. And sometimes it's unconsciously. So sometimes you got to do the stuff that you don't feel like doing. There's different forms of healing. There's different forms of rest. Sometimes it just take a little Googling, a little getting on this, with this social community of people like you, networking. Or you could just go within. It's always great to go within, honey. That's always a choice. Angel number 13 and 9 could be very significant. We got locked up. This can be mentally. This can be spiritually. This could be literally. People going to jail. Maybe people had a past of being in jail. Maybe in the future, justice is going to be served. By the time, like in your present moment, if you feel like there's no justice being served, you're going to end up seeing justice is being served. Sometimes you don't even know justice being served because you be too busy worrying about your own life and focusing on your own life. But justice, no evil wrongdoing is ever going unturned or unnoticed. People are getting their karma. You don't have to get your hands dirty to give people these karma. You don't ever have to feel like, oh, I'm not really doing enough. I'm not really, doing this. God got you. Your spiritual team got you. You just focus on your mental health. You just focus on getting back into a better energy. You just focus on your own life. Everybody gonna get karma who messed over you. Some of their ass was already obtaining karma before they even come into your life. But they had a chance because we have free will. And they still chose to mess over you. So that's their karma. And they went ahead and written out their life for now. Okay, I guess this person is going to live a life of karma because they fucked over a good person. And I hear a lot of religious folks saying, how do you think you'll go to heaven? Somebody like, oh, being a good person. They like, nope, you don't have to be a good person. Da-da-da. Like, I don't know why certain things are being taught to these crazy people out here. When you allowing people to still operate in foolishness and you telling them you don't have to be a good person, just ask for forgiveness, what the hell? How is a person going to ever change? And my thing is, people like you don't have to change because you're already in like this grand energy. So if you're dealing with people who have to change, run. Okay? I had to learn that the hard way. I didn't have to change. You know, of course there's growth and things like that, but I didn't have to change from a narcissist to an empath. I didn't have to change from the devil to God. I didn't have to change from a person that's dishing out trauma and all this stuff to a person that's no longer doing it. No, I always been a good person. I always been filled with love and light and whatever the case may be. Like good energy, genuine energy, integrity, morals. So when you're dealing with people of the opposite and you waiting around for them to change, baby, that's who they are. You better connect with people who are not of that type of energy. Because that's who they are. Ain't no telling when they're going to come out of that. They facing demons. I told you that. It says someone is asking about you. You over here worried about your own life, focusing on your own trauma and shit, and people over here asking about you. Bitch, put some money in our hand. Buy us a house. Where the car at? Let us get this passport and this what's the name and go out here in this other country. Like, do something for the collective. Y'all steady be gossiping, talking about the collective, worried about the collective. You don't do shit for them. And half of these people wishing that you don't even become nothing for real. They be worrying about the wrong things. What you discussing the collective for? What you asking about the collective for? Did you ever check on the collective? No. So people just, they weird. They be worried about the wrong things. Yeah, we got rejection. So some of y'all rejecting the bullshit, the fakeness. Maybe some of y'all felt some type of rejection. But I guarantee you it's their loss, never yours. I told you, you're your most prized possession in this life. That's why y'all got to stop being so quick to, oh, I can't wait till I have my best friend, my lover, that's going to come in due time. But right now, it's time to focus on you. It's time to get your mental health back together because you haven't been through no small ass shit. You've been through colossal things that fucked up your mental and your emotional space or state. So, if everybody else, respectfully, learn how to be, alone and to really enjoy your own space. I remember when I finally got to be in my own space, people was annoying the fuck out of me and everything else, and I was finally able to be in my space. I started really seeing beautiful things within myself that I've always felt was there, that I had. It's just I finally was able to see it when nobody was around me. I'm realizing how much of a creative I am, how much I actually can do some shit without being around another person. Sometimes you gotta stop underestimating yourself. Sometimes you gotta stop low-key belittling yourself. So appreciate that relationship with yourself. Not being obsessive with getting into other connections. That don't matter. That's gonna come though, because it's a beautiful thing, right? You're not meant to be alone. But at some point in time, you can't skip the step of being in your own space. Imagine if you had a weakness of not knowing how to be by yourself. Shit. So be mindful it's not happening to you before you. We got violence here. Some of y'all are a survivor of violence. You have the power to free yourself. We got liberate here. Some of you guys are going to be individuals who help people as well. Like if people are dealing with violence, if people are dealing with self-harm, if people are dealing with insecurities, like I feel like you're going to be like an advocate to help like the youth or adults that go through like certain traumas or things in their life. It makes sense because you're probably a person of service or a humanitarian or whatever the case may be, but that's probably for like a certain number of you guys. Now why did this phone get dark? Oh, okay. Let me they're giving me a puzzle to do, honey. Look, we got self-sabotage. And I'm picking up that a lot of you guys probably was self-sabotaging in your life. But for a lot of y'all, it's over with now. Because you're standing up for yourself. Or for some of you guys who are self-sabotaging in your life, you've been encouraged to stop doing that. If you want to see different results, change has to be done. So stand up for yourself. However that may look for you. You know your life better than any and everyone. Take the messages how it resonates. And then at the bottom it says, help others stand up for themselves. Remember, we just got done talking about how most of you guys are going to be an advocate for other people, helping them in their lives. So you could become an advisor, a teacher, a healer in many ways. Period. Helping people find themselves after marriage. Helping people find themselves for marriage. You know, it all can be broad, hand in hand, vice versa. Like, I'm telling you, it don't matter how it look. Regardless, it's helping, serving. And that is what you do best. Amongst other things, you a jack of all trades, honey. You can't be sleeping on yourself. You must not know who you is. But it's okay. Some of y'all do. Some of y'all still learning. Some of y'all will know. Alright? If you're a lady, something about your period or menstrual cycle could be very significant. Okay? And if you're a male, then maybe have more compassion or be more of a helper when it comes to women being on this. Like, you know, being there emotionally for them, you know, helping them around the house, like different stuff, you know, or just putting it how it is. Maybe this can be something that's more metaphorical. Like, you know, just take the messages how it resonates. And I'm not using this deck, but confirmation for some of you guys that someone is coming towards you. I don't know who it is. This can be in a lovely way. Like, maybe an opportunity is coming. Or maybe this is somebody from your past steady trying to get into your life. Be mindful. You've already closed that chapter, closed that door. Don't reopen it. You already know they're not serving you in any type of healthy way. And that we all have our own individual lives that we need to tend to. You're not here to be somebody's personal healer, personal God, personal maid, mother, none of that shit. This is your own life and you got here by yourself. So don't ever feel like you have to drown to save the next motherfucker. Sometimes they put themselves in the deep end. So it's not for you to go out there and give yourself their karma as well. Let people go through their own shitty life. And connect with people who are on your level. Finally. Look, fake love. Period. A god and a goddess could never. You don't give fake love. So, of course, you're not abandoning nobody. You're not being mean. You're not being this and being that. And maybe you are being mean. Maybe you are being more selfish. Who give a fuck? As you should. Because you was being giving and welcoming to the wrong damn people. So trust me, these people may try to make you feel bad because a lot of people project onto you what they feel about themselves. But don't you dare. Don't you dare, honey. You're a very abundant individual in many forms. Don't let them trick you, honey. Remember how we talked about the military and stuff? The Navy could be very significant. Be mindful for some of y'all, this can be in a more positive aspect, while others it can be in a more negative. Like, it really all depends on who you are and what you've already experienced, what's to come. It really all depends. And when I say negative, I don't mean that to like scare you or shy you away, but just to, you know, become cautious, aware. Right? For instance, the fake love energy can tie to the Navy. Like, maybe you think, oh yeah, this is gonna be somewhere I can make my friends, I can do this. You can do that outside the military, honey. Outside the government overall, who don't really give a damn about you. But I'm not gonna tell you not to go for something. If you want to enlist in the military, that's you. I learned a long time ago to not project on the collective. Whole time we low-key be projecting on each other. So I try not to project on the collective my own personal beliefs or whatever the case may be, or anything that ties to restricting, you know. Like, do you? Maybe you meant to experience something going to the military. You know, maybe it'll be something that's both lessons and blessings. You know what I'm saying? But for others of y'all, this probably not even pertaining to you. It's probably pertaining to somebody else, just confirming to you that the Navy is significant. Maybe a person in the Navy or the military or something like that. It really all depends. All right, we got angel number 122. 221, 212, however you want to place the number. But these numbers are very significant. But it's just coming out in this order. So in this order, it means spiritual growth. Confirmation that you guys are growing and evolving spiritually. That's great. Or maybe this is soon to come and soon to happen. All right, this is also a number of personal growth. So either you're operating in this energy, you soon will be, or you're being encouraged to. All right, manifestation is here. Guidance. Maybe you're being encouraged to manifest. Maybe your manifestations are coming into fruition. It can mean many things. All right, guidance is also here. Maybe you're being guided. Maybe you're a guide. It can all mean different things for different people. Progression is here. Remember, I told y'all, sometimes you may not see the results, but that doesn't mean that you're not progressing. And sometimes things, they don't come into fruition in the physical first. A lot of times it probably happens spiritually first, which is something that you can't really see with your two eyes, right? A lot of times. And I kind of meant to revitalize that, like what I said, but I'll just keep it like that. It says positive change as well. So whatever change is happening, it's positive. It's for your highest good, everyone else's highest good. Even though we're not talking about them, they don't really matter, but just letting you know. All right, so for instance, cutting somebody off is not only good for you, but it's good for them too. Maybe it'll teach them something really, really grand. Maybe that will be the catalyst of helping them come into a better, like, you really never know. All right, this is also an energy of meditate. So maybe some of you guys are being encouraged to meditate, communicate with your guides, because this can possibly help with spiritual growth. I wrote something here, but it's so small I can't even see what it says. And I've been made these cards, so I actually don't remember what that would be. But this angel number 122 is connected to Archangel Uriel. Uriel is the spelling of their name, which is the angel of wisdom, prophecy, and enlightenment. This angel is with you to guide or support you. Okay? We got airplanes, helicopters, or aviation overall could be very significant. So maybe the Air Force can even be significant. I just ended up thinking about that because I thought of the military and the Navy ended up coming out. So then I just ended up thinking of like the Air Force, but that don't really have to be significant for a lot of you all. But airplanes, helicopters, aviation overall, it could be significant in many ways. Like maybe in the past you went to a school of aviation. Maybe in the present moment you're being encouraged to travel. Maybe in the future you'll see a sign of a helicopter or airplane come across your sky. Like you just have to apply it to how it fits, you know? As above, so below, walking away, period. Thank you guys for the follows. If you're able to double tap the screen so we can like push this live out to more people, that would be really great. If you enjoy my content, make sure you do give me a follow, because 9 times out of 10 you won't ever see me again. If you come into the message like right about now, I said like a whole bunch of stuff. I've probably been on here for over an hour. So if you haven't seen the beginning, the middle, it will be uploaded to my YouTube. The link is in the bio. If you guys are wanting to get on the list, $7.77 questions, $25, $35, and $50 readings. If you can't afford my prices, minimum amount you can send in is $5 for each questions or readings. If you can't afford my prices, okay? Now, The Mercury retrograde is very significant. We've experienced a Mercury retrograde. Okay, we did experience one this year. It was in March or something like that. God bless me. I can't really remember. Like, I'm still trying to get my memory back together. But the Mercury grade of last year, whichever one, or the most recent one in last year, which was 2024, or the Mercury retrograde this year, as well as the upcoming one that we haven't experienced yet. Sometimes you can just go on certain astrology apps to see when the next retrograde is going to come up, or sometimes people type in Google when it's going to happen. Or the one that we just had could be very significant, or the energy of the Mercury retrograde could be significant. So let me tell you what it means. A lot of times communication issues could arise during the Mercury retrograde. This is also, the Mercury retrograde can also tie to a chance for reflection. Past or nostalgia urgencies can even be significant. Mercury retrograde sometimes can be associated with negative energy, confusion, and inconvenience, you know, like bad luck or whatever the case may be, if you believe in luck. All right. Because once again, I'm not here to project on you, honey. If you don't believe in certain things, you don't believe in a Mercury retrograde, then that's fine, you know. But this is for individuals who probably resonate with it, okay? So, Mercury retrograde can also tie to unexpected reunions from the past, electronic issues, and also to be mindful of decision making. It's probably best to like usually hold off. Sorry guys, I'm gonna repeat what I said because my phone over here cut out. All right, we're back. So a lot of times this Mercury retrograde energy could be encouraging you to be mindful of decision making. Sometimes it's best to hold off from decisions, right? Because sometimes the energy is kind of wonky or whatever, you know. 9 times out of 10 when you're out of the Mercury retrograde and out of that shadow period, because sometimes, say for instance, if the Mercury retrograde ends March 28th, sometimes March 29th is still picking up on that energy of the retrograde, right? So sometimes give it a couple days to a week to let that retrograde energy die down or dissect, and then you can start putting in those decisions again. A lot of astrologists kind of hold off from making huge decisions like signing contracts, or especially when it comes to things that they haven't done yet. Like if it's something like, say for instance, if this is going to be your first time ever buying a car, you never bought a car before, maybe it's not the best time to do it at a Mercury retrograde. But if you probably bought a car before already, then maybe it's fine to do, you know. It's like something like that. But at the same time, we still got to be mindful of decision making, like hold off at times. It really all depends on your beliefs, you know. Sometimes we believe in things that are not really facts, but sometimes we can create beliefs to be real, you know. So if you're going to believe in anything, don't allow it to restrict you. Let it be positive. Don't let it instill fear. Okay. You know, just take what resonates for you. Just because you're spiritual, you don't have to believe in everything that a person that's spiritual believes in, right? Spirituality is more personal. It's more individual. So keep that in mind. Animals are very significant, whether it's spirit animals, whether it's your pet, like whatever it may mean in your own life. Thank you for the follows, guys, and the likes. If you're able to double tap the screen to push this live out to more viewers, that would be lovely. All right, please make sure you guys give me a follow if you enjoy my content, because after this you probably would never see me again. All right, this is not a one-time thing where I drop gems, honey. We drop gems every live, every post. All right, it's not on me, it's in me, honey. Yeah, and then I'm seeing health and I love you so much. So I took that really more personal instead of outside, you know, external forces. I feel like, and thank you guys so much for double tapping the screen. I feel like this is more so self-love, self-care. I know sometimes we get tired of hearing those words or hearing the word heal and all this stuff, but it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing because the delusion is going to wear off. Authenticity is going to be able to to, you know, to come in. Because sometimes if you're not healed, sometimes you're not operating from your most authentic self, you know, because you're probably operating from shit, PTSD and trauma and all type of stuff, right? So I like to call healing getting back to self, right? And it don't have to be like that for everyone, because a lot of times, you know, you could be this new person that you've ever been before. So it could be relearning your new self, or not relearning, learning your new self. Like, it really, you know, just apply how it fits for you. All right, grandparents could be very significant. Any more messages for the collective? Personal time. All right, so this could be an energy of, this is time, you know, this is personal. Taking time out for yourself, this is most definitely personal. All right, it has nothing to do with trying to punish somebody. It's really for your mind, body, and soul. Evolution, liberation, right? Justice. This is what's owed to you. This is what's fair to you, what you're meant to experience. I know a lot of people, they praise being in connections and community and things like that. That will come, especially if it's the right people. Beautiful thing, right? But you can't skip that step of not ever building that relationship with yourself, that personal, sacred, independent relationship with yourself. Is really important, especially in a world like this, okay? And a lot of times we're growing, you know. Why limit yourself? There's a quote by Jerry Dunn: challenge your limits, don't limit your challenges. Why not? Why keep living in a life filled with addictions and making poor choices? And, like, you know, life is just not going to be enjoyable that way anyway. It's always going to be something you got to work on, you know. So free yourself. This is a gift to yourself in reality. So personal time is important. It's not, it's mandatory, okay? I don't think it's something that you can skip. Just like healing is necessary, it's not a step you can just skip over and, oh, okay, I want to go this way. You can do it, but it's probably going to be a little chaotic. It's probably going to, you know. All right. Oop. Healer. Like, I do feel like a lot of times when you go through things in your life, is really like something huge. It's just something huge. Imagine you having your own legacy. Imagine you going through things so you can obtain the wisdom that's necessary, because a lot of times we can only go based off what was already existing to us, right? That's what everybody goes off of when they come into the world. Generations passing down information. Half the time it's tampered with. Half the time it's lies. So you go through what you go through for a reason. And I feel like it's 9 times out of 10 for truth. Truth. So if you're a healer, life may not have been the best or the easiest, but nobody said it was going to be easy, right? That don't mean it have to be like this forever. It don't have to be like that forever. Sometimes you just have to bump your head and relearn things the right way. So you go through things that you go through. It's not happening to you before you, especially because you will be able to pass this down to generations after generations. And who's best to do it than you, right? Or people like you. Not these damn people who are functioning psychos, who have fake love. Like, we don't want to teach the generations fake love. We don't want to teach the generations trauma. So I feel like y'all had to go through some hard things in your life, but God knew that you could go through it, that it wouldn't change you for the worse, but only the better. So you're a healer. That's how you know how to heal people. Because you can empathize. You got the wisdom. I'm hearing that I got the keys, the keys, the keys. I think that's a song by Future. We got shapeshifter here. I remember earlier we were talking about the shapeshifters. A lot of you guys, like I said, you're jack of all trades. Whole time you probably underestimate yourself in a certain category, when in reality, shit, you can easily snap into a mutable energy. You can easily snap into being disciplined after not being disciplined for a certain amount of time. Like, I'm telling you, you can bounce back, shape shift in the best way. I'm telling you. Look, we got disrespect and player haters. See, people only disrespecting you because they hating. They hate on your light. They hate on who you are. They see your excellence within you and they're envious of that, not knowing that they too can rise into their highest potential. That we're all different for a reason and beautiful, right? But it's a choice. It's a choice. Sometimes it's in you, but at the same time, some people, they lose sight of that godly energy that's within them and they start operating in a low vibrational aspect. But you can't take this personal. Especially if you're a deep feeling individual. We already talked about it earlier in the collective, how to choose your battles. So we ain't gonna really do no repetition. If you want to see, you know, the message, it'll be uploaded on YouTube, okay? But yeah, some of y'all are too smart for your own good. You just can't connect with people who are not on your level. It's just simple as that. Of course, you're gonna have people that's hating on you. Of course, you're gonna have people that's wishing on your downfall. Of course, you're gonna have crabs in the bucket. Of course. Like, the world is sad. But it's people in the world that are like you. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it seems rare because the first person that came into your energy was probably somebody who wasn't the best and you got attached to that. And it probably was a pattern. So to you, that's what's normal. But in reality, you just can't, I'm telling you, not every opportunity is the best one. Sometimes you fool yourself, right? But I don't feel like y'all doing that no more. Or you're being encouraged to not do so. Stop the pattern. All right, you guys. This live may end soon because my phone is on 12%, or I just may end the live soon, regardless, on this phone as well. But if I don't, and you guys want to continue to be a part of the collective, excuse me, you just click the link in my bio, and you're gonna see main TikTok, and it's gonna have my @name. Just click it, and it's gonna send you straight to my main TikTok, and that's where I'm live at. Because on this phone it's 71%. This phone I have over here, it dies very quickly. So it's already on like 12%. Now it's on 11. So maybe I'll end the live regardless. But yeah, let's see. I just don't like rushing a message. So that's why I'm like, maybe I won't end the live. I don't know. Because I feel like I haven't even got to pull tarot yet. So. All right, Miss Sarah. Thanks for coming in, honey. Hope you enjoy the rest of your lifetime, boo. That goes for all of you guys. I hope that for you for sure. Be mindful. If you can't stay for the full message, it's so okay. You know, this message will be uploaded on YouTube. You as well, honeybee. Gotta clock in. All right. All right. Since my stomach is turning, honey, I don't know why. Maybe I'm hungry. Maybe it's just because of what I'm experiencing. So we gonna pull these, okay? Reflective tarot deck. Let's see. Any last messages here for the collective? Maybe some of you guys should create like a daily regimen or routine for yourselves. Thank you for the follow, honey. To help you continue to operate in this new version of yourself. Who let go of people, who's detached from addictions and hoarding and greed, you know? Maybe start being on your phone less and being out in nature more. Indulging in your passions more and connecting with like low vibrational things less, or not at all, as I should say. Start implementing things into your routine so your mind, body, and soul can become more trained and used to doing it. And all of a sudden you're journaling and you're realizing how healing it is. And it can even be things outside of healing, because I know with me, it actually helps me tap in with my subconscious, like journaling. Like, I don't know if some of you guys have realized that for yourself, but all right, let's see. Any last messages here for the collective? Any last messages? Seven of Swords. This can be a card of false masks, lies, deceit, trickery, someone trying to get away with something, or somebody thinking that they got away with something. Mind games. This can also be self-sabotage if this is your, if you know, whatever the case may be. Any more messages here? Four of Cups. So this can also be confirming something that you've already experienced, and the energy that you're sitting in or operating in is missed opportunities, because your emotions, you're still probably focusing on what didn't work out. You probably have regrets of something. You're probably like in the energy of apathy, right? From something that probably happened to you. Or maybe you feel like somebody got over on you in something. They took something from you, your vitality, your happiness, your love for granted. Like, it really all depends on who you are. But nobody, I told you, no wrongdoing is ever left unturned, or people are not getting karma from that. So be mindful. Any more messages here for the collective? I feel like something wanted to come out, but it didn't. Yeah, that last name Jones is very significant for sure. All right, and then we got the Ten of Pentacles on the back of the deck, which can be, I'm thinking of the word culmination. Accumulate. Okay. This can also be talking about a lump sum of money, or it can be talking about practical matters, earthly plane situations, financial situations. It can even be about family, security, generational wealth, all right? Foundations, security. Confirm the Seven of Swords. Let's see. Yeah, a chapter is ending. You completed something. And I feel like you succeeded at the same time. So whatever has hurt you in the past, you got to let it go. You're literally not able to really live in the present moment, you know? You're not living at all. This is like literally unhappiness or like apathy. I don't really want to say unhappiness, but more, because maybe sometimes you can get into a happy energy, but then you're probably back, like kind of not being fully to be at at bliss or overjoyed, because something is probably wiping the smile off your face. And like I said, maybe this could be something that happened in the past, or maybe some of you guys feel like something is currently going on, which is affecting you. Confirm this Seven of Swords energy. Yeah, maybe some of you guys were hurt, abandoned, left out in the cold, especially when it came to people who you thought had your back because you had theirs. People who you would have given their shirt off your back to, people who you probably struggled with. Maybe somebody could have stolen something from you financially, so now you're like in poverty. Confirm more of this Five of Pentacles. Yeah. Maybe you worked hard on something, or maybe, like, if this is like tied to a family situation where somebody has worked on something for you and you were left an inheritance, then maybe somebody has stolen that from you. But if this is something else, you're going to come out of this energy. You're going to come out of the energy of poverty. And I feel like that's because you're going to be focusing on something. Like, you're going to be extremely focused, detailed, probably working on this one thing, perfecting something. That's what I'm talking about. You're not giving up, because you know that if you want something, if you want to obtain something, that you have to co-create with the universe. Sometimes something is not going to fall in your lap, you know. Sometimes you have to actually get your hands a little nitty and gritty and get up in there and do some labor. But this can also be entrepreneurial. Side hustle while you got your 9 to 5 for some of y'all. Confirm this 5 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles. Yeah. So I'm seeing her. Okay, confirm this 7 of Swords. Okay, so this could have been with a connection that you probably noticed was struggling, but you probably dismissed the red flags, whatever the case may be. Maybe this was somebody who you thought was genuine, pure, somebody who you would have been in a union with forever. And they probably did something to deceive you or to hurt you. You know, this, once again, was somebody who you struggle with. This could be somebody who's still actively in your life. But I feel like you're just encouraged to do your own thing, because some people are dead weight. Literally. Some people are dead weight. Like, a lot of times people like to, oh, I have history with them. Oh, well, that's the mother or father of my child. Or, I feel like I can't do this by myself and that they'll be able to help me get to where I want to be. I hope you know that's not true. And I hope you know just because they're family and you have history don't mean shit. I hope you know that. You've been trained to believe that from the very people who ain't shit. Have you noticed that a lot of rules and traditions are made by people who literally ain't shit? They over here telling you, stay in your marriage while they commit an adultery. The same people who commit adultery telling you, stay in your marriage. And they trying to tell you can't be listening to everybody else. Because look, you're going to be struggling with this person, but they not struggling with you. You feel me? I'm telling you now. You got to remember the messages that we was talking about earlier, how people are pretending to be in a requited connection. For those of you who are only pretending to be in this cutesy, oh, we're doing just fine type of relation, that's only going to hurt you in the end. F what everybody else is thinking. If you got to get a divorce, if you got to break up with somebody, who give a damn? If you got to be a single parent, who give a damn? Like, do what's best for you in your life. Or you going to be in apathy. Still. You're going to try to go after your passions and you're going to get unmotivated. You're going to get stopped in your tracks. It's going to be an obstacle. Because you being codependent. Or because you don't have as much, damn, what's the word I'm trying to think of? Faith in yourself. I don't know why I'm hearing, I'm walking on sunshine. So I feel like you won't, whatever energy you're in right now, you won't be in that energy forever. But some of y'all are probably just walking on fume, right? It's no gas in the car, but it's still able to push. So it's only running on fume or something. Some of y'all are doing that, especially mentally or emotionally or whatever the case may be. But I feel like you're slowly going to get out of this energy. That's why sometimes time heals, right? That's what they say, but at the same time, not completely. So you got to go in and do some of that work yourself. You got to go in and do the mental healing, the emotional healing. It seemed like a lot, but it's really not. Going to work damn near your whole life is a lot, but you still did it. So why not do things that are best for you instead of best for everybody else? I'm going to have to end this live, you guys. But like I said, if you want to stay in tune with the collective, click the link in my bio. You'll see main TikTok. And just go to that, okay? This phone is on 1%, so I have to end the live right now. But thank you guys for joining in. I'll see you in the next one. Okay. This phone. Alright, you guys. If you haven't seen this full message, or if you can't stay for the full message, it will be uploaded to my YouTube. Tell me more about this 7 of Swords energy. Yep. Could have been with people who you celebrated with. All right, baby showers, graduation, stuff like that could be very significant. This is the celebration energy. This is the friendship energy. So I feel like you've been snaked by family, friends, and lovers. Yep. Confirm the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, but I feel like you put it in, I feel like poverty, this is only temporary. You won't be there for long. For some of you guys, you already come up out of poverty. And you're being blessed with prosperity because of the hard work you've been putting in from years ago to now, because of who you are within. Period. A person like you could never be in lack, but sometimes you may experience it, but I don't feel like you will ever be there for long. It's not happening to you, before you. Some of you guys may have even put to rest, like the mindset that you have when it comes to money, your relationship with money, the way that you think when it comes to poverty or lack. Maybe some of you guys have released or separated, broken up with people who abandoned you, left you out in the cold, made you feel less than, you know, made you feel like that they were interfering with your gifts and your blessings. Or some of you guys are being encouraged to put this to rest. Because the Five of Pentacles got the Seven of Swords confirming the Five of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles confirming the Eight of Pentacles, but the Five of Pentacles confirming the Four of Swords as well. And if you don't know tarot, that may not make sense to you, but that's why I'm like explaining everything already. That's just for people who do know about tarot and how they can probably take the messages in another way for them. Ouch. Okay, confirm the Four of Cups. Yeah, the Hierophant is in the... See, some of y'all not even able to do what you do what you're meant to do in the world because of how you feeling. That's why I'm saying it's important to not have the wrong people around you. Because when you a person that know what love is, how to love, how to give, how to receive, how to give love, sometimes you're going to become at your lowest when it comes to people in your life who you allow close to your heart who betrays you. So when I say protect your heart, honey, protecting your heart is protecting your purpose. It's protecting your legacy. It's protecting your finances. It's protecting your life overall. So it's some things you just got to stop doing. Sometimes you will love a girl and just can't help it. Well, you going to have to figure something out. Because that ain't the way. If you're going to be a lover girl, connect with people who are actually on your level. Not people who are going to be a disappointment. And you'll know they're going to be a disappointment. You'll know. Trust. Stop trying to give people chances and overlook red flags. Friends, family, romantic connections, business-wise, just stop doing it. Because like I said, when you're a deep-feeling individual, you take things personal, you can ruin your life with the people who you allow close to your heart. In all areas of your life, even spirituality, even within your beliefs. So some of y'all, you gotta do things in a non-traditional, non-conventional type of way at this point. You gotta rebel against certain things that just don't resonate with you anymore. Even if that means cutting off your damn family. Cutting off this person, cutting off that person, regardless of who they are or the history you have. That's just... oh well, these people will be substituted with better individuals, better candidates, as they should. Yeah, period. Sometimes you got to be a little selfish to get that wish fulfillment, when in reality, you've been as selfless as you could to the point where you've been pushed towards being selfish towards people who can't. They're only take. They ain't no type of giving energy. So in reality, you're not being a bad person. You're not being a rude, cruel, shunning type of person. You're just doing what's best for you. That's all I'm saying. So either do what's best for you or continue to people please. Continue to not come into the energy that you're actually meant to experience, which is, ooh, bliss, success. Learning those lessons. Because some of y'all are meant to be speakers, to preach. Some of y'all are prophets. People are meant to sit and listen to you. Not because you look good, because what you're seeing is chef's kiss. Change somebody's life. But how you gonna do that if you missing out on certain opportunities by being in apathy because of what you went through with these people who you allowed to get close to you? You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you just got to make different choices to see different results. Change. And I feel like y'all are very passionate individuals, and you're probably on this path of action, energy, going towards passions, coming into a more, like, a period of time where you're feeling alive again. It's always going to seem like it's too far behind. Like you're always trying to run up to it and run up to it. And it's going to always seem like you're running in place, trying to get there. So some things need to come to an end. Some things you need to set boundaries, separation, protect yourself, protect your mind, body, and soul. And you do that by trusting in that inner compass. Pay attention to the wisdom you've obtained. You ain't go through all this for no reason. You're not meant to be nobody's emotional punching bag, the person that gives people 1,000 chances. No. You leave that for other people who in that energy. But nobody said that was you. You can still be a good person and not give nobody no chances. That has nothing to do with who you are within, but how much you love and respect yourself as well. Right? So you have some people who love and respect themselves who will just forgive people and maybe let them back in their life. Or maybe they come into this point in time where they're being realistic as well. And they're like, you know what? You're not for me. So they won't implement them in their lives anymore. Because I was thinking, you know how people, if Jesus was a real thing, right? Which when I looked up on AI, Jesus' character, or who it was, I resonated with it so much because it was talking about a kind individual who's humanitarian. And I'm like, well, I'm a person that has these traits, so I believe that a person like this probably did exist, you know? But you got so many people who tampering with evidence and information and history that you don't know what the fuck to believe. So at times you just got to go based off what you know. But when I heard that, I was like, oh yeah, it had to be someone like that existed. And it's crazy because they crucified him, right? How the hell you crucifying a person like that? People suck, for real. So don't ever feel like it won't be done to you. So sometimes you just gotta put yourself first. You can't allow people already then came in and shifted your reality, and you built things and you built up your confidence, you built up your finances, and then it just came tumbling down because the people that you was having around you, now you rebuilding. Don't let that happen again, because it can. We all have free will. But hey, judgment has been made. You've come into an awakening. You've made a decision. Now, it was probably something you never did before. Now you're coming into this new beginning, which is a life that you probably never lived before. A life of freedom, a life of peace, a life of requited relationships, healthy relationships, bliss, joy. Ain't going back to trauma, honey. You ain't going back to discord, conflict. The Chariot. See, you've overcome a lot of things that was meant to destroy you, honey. People tried to take you out. Let me turn this sorry, y'all, give me 1 second. Okay, the Chariot, that's victory. That's will, drive, determination. You know how you say bum rushing? It's like you with force, going through any obstacle, surpassing all enemies. Victory. is a beautiful message. I always give beautiful messages. You know what I'm saying? You're a beautiful individual. Stop settling for the ugly ducklings. That's a metaphor. Stop settling for little boo-boo. Stop feeling like you can't obtain wealth. You can't obtain a life that's filled with peace. You probably never experienced it as you become older and started going through shit in your life. And from there, life been lifing. But don't have to be like that forever. We give ourselves karma. Jemiah, thank you so much for double tapping the screen. I appreciate you. 177 could be a very significant angel number. Any more messages for the collective? Y'all can interpret the messages in any way. Tarot is very broad, but this is how I see the message. This is justice. Didn't I tell you? This is justice. You owe this to yourself. You are owed a life of this type of energy. I'm telling you. You just can't self-sabotage, though. Trust your wisdom. Trust your intuition. Stop giving these people chances and compromising. No, we're not doing that. See, people, the only thing that they're trying to win a battle that you're not even at war with. You're not at war with no damn body, yet somebody trying to win. Why are people how they are? See, we ain't gonna go around asking why, because it could be many, many reasons. We don't give a fuck. We ain't got time. We gotta focus on our mental health. Shitty people, they shitty people for a reason, but it don't validate nothing. So since there's nothing to validate it, why do we care? Regardless of how you got to this point, I can give myself enlightenment so I can feel better. But at the end of the day, I'm not finna sit, dwell, be in this hurt energy. That's just who you are. A snake is a snake. They gonna bite you. I just know better. And that's the blessing. That's the lesson in disguise, man. You are good to people. Now you're going to attract people who are going to be good to you. But see, my thing is, we have free will. We choose who be in our lives. Choose right this time. Choose right this time. I ain't saying you made a poor choice with choosing the people that you chose. Hey, you needed to learn a lesson. You learned the lesson. Now you won't have to worry about your kids needing to learn the same damn thing. Now you won't have to worry about you steady learning the same damn thing. That's why I'm glad a smidge that I had to experience things at a young age, because shit, life gonna be amazing. You know what I'm saying? From future wise, or from here on out, we gonna manifest. Okay. I ain't gotta learn no hard shit, no go through no dark night of the soul again, no child. That was very detrimental, confusing, hard. So just gotta learn a lesson the first time. And I ain't talking about one of those situations where you keep bumping your head and bump your head and bump. Maybe that can even be significant though. But I'm just saying, like, these major lessons, you gotta start looking at it like karma, justice, cause and effect. The law can even be significant. Some of y'all had things done to you unlawfully, injustice. But I promise you, people got that karma and they still going through it. It ain't no temporary shit. Some of these people got lifelong karma. It's over with. They life over. Life is over for them. So you can't do nothing with them no more. They just a walking red flag, walking karma, walking bad luck. They don't serve you in your life anymore. They taught you what they needed to teach you, and vice versa. At times you're the student or the teacher in your life. People come in to teach us something, come in to learn something. That's how it be. So this time, since we now know this, let's connect with people who are actually emotionally intelligent, emotionally mature, who on a king queen shit, who on a god goddess shit. You already dealt with the little boo boo, little shitties We're not doing that no more. We see that don't get us nowhere. Have we ever been a little shitty? No. So if somebody is little shitty, stop having high hopes for them that they won't no longer be that way. That's who they are. You cannot change them. Something miraculous will have to happen. Something transforming will have to happen for them to really. I seen people being shitty human beings and they didn't get it until they was like late 40s. Imagine waiting around that long. Shit, they probably not. That's what I mentioned before. Sometimes you just gotta leave people behind. That's how they learn. Imagine that person who ended up changing and realizing, damn, I get it now. And they already 40. Imagine not leaving their life and they 60 still on the same shit. Sometimes it's important to disconnect for you and the betterment of others. But that's why I say every time, this message is not for them. Fuck them. But I'm just letting you know, sometimes you can be getting in the way of your own blessings, of your own reality. That's why I'm saying sometimes people be trying to tell you, oh, twin flame this. Oh, family this. Fuck all that. 9 times out of 10, they a false twin flame. 9 times out of 10, it's a shitty ass family dynamic. Why are you trying to encourage the collective to be around some shit like this? That's why I say shit, regardless, make sure you trust in yourself, because there's a bunch of people on here who's a human like you, but that's not really tapped in with that spiritual or that higher aspect of themselves. They're not as self-aware to the point to where they're projecting. They probably mean well. Some of them don't. This could be your energy. You could be somebody that's very trusting, gives great advice, emotionally intelligent. Or you're going to have somebody that's like this in your space. Maybe past, present, future energy could be significant, right? This could be like some type of mentor or something, teacher. Maybe even a friend. Maybe you're going to attract a lover like this. Period. Shit. So you didn't seen it all. You didn't done it all. I don't know why I'm thinking of it. I didn't done it all. Feel like Shawty Low. Laughing to the bank. But shit is not a joke. That's that Lotto song, Brokey. People be broke in spirit, broke financially, broke in all forms. We can't do nothing with that. Now all of a sudden you see people praising, oh yeah, date them all. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Matter of fact, if they broke, don't even look their way. Now I see why people say that. I used to always be a person who didn't really give a fuck about none of that. But now I see why they say that. Especially if you're talking about people who are unhealed and unhealthy. Because sometimes you can be healthy and like unhealed, right? You can be really good within, but you just got some trauma you need to take care of. But imagine dealing with somebody that's unhealthy. They're going to be very insecure. They money low, they energy going to be low too. I'm telling you. It's based off, I speak off experience, which is wisdom. I speak off wisdom. I'm telling you. Sometimes you got to balance out the spiritual aspect of things and balance out spirituality and practicality, man. Sometimes you got to put in that work and receive blessings without having to do too much at the same time. Like sometimes you can put in work and not have to put in work. But sometimes life is not going to just be, you know, not everybody is. And I don't want to say lucky, because sometimes it's more rewarding when you get it out the mud. Sometimes it's more rewarding when you go through so much in your life and you finally able to have peace. You're able to appreciate it a lot better. You're able to respect it a lot more. I'm telling you, you know. So you're embarking on a new beginning that you've never probably experienced before. You're probably a whole new individual right now. This is your justice. Everything that's meant to happen. I'm seeing good karma, bruh. The things that was injustice, unlawful, hell no. Karma already took care of that and they still on their ass. See, you went through a lot of things with these connections, right? These people who you were making major choices in your life towards. All of a sudden, you no longer the main character in your life. This goes towards family. This goes towards the friends or people you were celebrating with. This can even tie to certain religious beliefs, traditions that no longer resonate with you. You know what I'm saying? Things that you probably felt like you would have been connected to forever. And you was only going to get tighter with. But God had bigger plans for you. You come into an awakening. You made a decision. And God on your side with this. You were always protected. A lot of things was meant to throw you off your game, confuse you, tarnish you. A lot of people when it came out of this. Very, very strong individual, man. When I say strong, man, I mean that in no type of slight or lightest way possible. Amazing. Shout out to Jemiah for double tapping that screen, honey. I appreciate it. And feel free, give yourself a break, honey. I appreciate you. The Chariot, like I said, victorious. Sometimes you feel like, damn, I failed in life. Damn, I'm not where I want to be right now. Don't ever let me hear you say that about yourself again. I'm thinking of ever come back here. That's from Friday. Don't ever let me hear you talk about yourself like that again. Stop bad-mouthing yourself. Stop talking down on yourself. Stop belittling yourself. Stop feeling like you need people to make it to where you want to be. I'm telling you now, that shit is false. A lot of shit you've programmed in your mind or other people programmed is false. That's why you're able to come into this realization, oh, this is false. Because if you never would have realized that it was false, you would have kept believing in the shit. So now you have to actually experience things. Become let down in your life. See that the people who were in good energy and high honor was low-key pedophiles, thieves, whether it was thieves of your finances or thieves of your vitality, energy vampires. How was you gonna ever believe that existed if everybody trying to hide it, if everybody trying to suppress it, if everybody trying to rewrite history? You feel me? You've been going after things, going after the things that you love. You've been putting in action where it's needed. Maybe sometimes in y'all life it seemed like, damn, I don't really have the energy. Emotionally, I'm not feeling the best, but I'm still striving towards this, and I'm still trying. God sees that. You are being commended. I don't know if you feel it, know it, see it, but I'm here to tell you, no, nothing that you accomplish is ever small. You're going to be celebrating soon if you haven't already. And if you already celebrated, you're going to be celebrating again. Period. You've overcome a lot of things that was meant to defeat you. You can't be defeated. I'm hearing that Sia song, Titanium. I am titanium. Shoot me down, but I won't fall. Period. So yeah, you can be a teacher and student in people's lives, but I promise regardless, you a blessing. Because the thing is, you were always nurturing. You were always genuine, always pure. And you're going to attract a connection like this. Remind you, we had the King of Cups earlier. This is the Queen of Cups now. Dynamic relationship. This is the suits. When it talks about the Queen, the King, the Page, and the Knight and stuff like that. So it can also be talking about characteristics, personalities amongst, people. So like I say, this can just be your characteristics, very nurturing, empath, intuitive, etc. Or it's a person coming in. This could be your energy. You attracting the King of Cups. Y'all gonna be on the same wavelength. You know how you attract people who don't know what love is and can't give love, so you in this unrequited, one-sided relationship? Oh no, not with them. This is gonna be equal give and take. This is gonna be emotional fulfillment in your relationships and in your individual self. I'm telling you, wish fulfillment is here. The Nine of Cups was showing out earlier. I don't think I got a chance to actually say wish fulfillment or fulfillment. But yeah, that's pretty much your message, honey. Just be mindful of self-sabotage, because these are both the cards of self-sabotage. And these are also both the cards that talks about deceit or people trying to get over on you. People laughing at your losses, when in reality, I told you, no such thing as a loss when it comes to you. It's a loss when it comes to other people, yeah, but you ain't like everybody else. And I say that in the most non-humble way, because why people want you to have a little bit of value towards yourself, a little bit of self-esteem. No, we ain't doing that. We ain't normalizing humbleness around here, because the thing is, you're not conceited. That's the difference. You give a fuck about yourself. It ain't about pride and ego and excessive this and that. No. The people that's hating and jealous that you in this energy, they want you to think less of yourself, because they gonna start thinking less of themselves when your light is shining too bright. Ain't no such thing as your light shining too bright. That's who you are. Yes, ma'am. I appreciate you. So you even coming out as that Queen of Swords, honey. The Queen. You probably become ruthless in this point in time. You probably didn't chop a few people's heads off with your words, with your intelligence. She don't play. And that's only because you've been through way too much. You ain't become this horrible person to the world like everybody else, but you show not letting nobody play with you. You've been through way too much. This is a lady or a man, or whoever you are, feminine energy, who went through a lot of trial and tribulation, who've experienced a lot of loss and hardship, to the point to where they've obtained the wisdom. You don't just have this sword energy for no reason. I'm telling you, even in the justice, they got that sword energy. You can't just be, any and everybody can't carry that. Libra energy could be very significant. Gemini, Scorpio, Cancer, and or Pisces. You have these things in your charts. A lot of air energy had came out. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Really, all the signs are very significant. There's some earth energy out here too. Heavy on the Gemini. Maybe some of y'all should get into astrology. You know, get into your birth chart a little more, your human design chart. Maybe looking up like what these signs could mean, especially in certain placements that you have them. Like I'm a Gemini and Mercury. If you don't know astrology, that probably won't make sense to you. You know, so that's what I mean. Get into like what stuff means. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's if you want to. Numerology is very significant, but I feel like it's very helpful. For sure. But yeah, y'all done been through a lot with people who you allow close to your heart. Don't let no another dark energy get close to your heart again, or you're going to mess your life up again. You let somebody get close to your heart, and it's probably when you really didn't know any better at the time. So that was just lessons. But don't you dare bypass the red flags again. Don't you dare leave your wisdom on the side of the curb when you walk into the door. I'm telling you. Or you're going to be disappointed all over again. Trust yourself. You've already learned to do this. You've already learned some shit. Don't let it go over your head this time. Don't forget what you've learned. Okay? So, period. I don't feel like you will ever go through these type of things again. Of course, there's a world full of people like this who laugh at your pain, who try to kick you while you're down, who try to win at all costs against you. They don't care how they do it. People who try to lie, steal, connive, cheat, and get away with it, and think they getting away with it. It's people out here like that, for sure. Maybe you'll attract these type of people, because it's not that you're attracting them. It's just that shit, we on the earthly plane, and that's what exists. But maybe for some of y'all, it is more of an attract type of thing. It really all depends on who you are and what you believe in, really. But all I know is you've obtained a lot of wisdom. You've been hurt enough to the point to where I think you got it this time. So I don't think you're going to do the same things that you did. I think you're going to do a lot of things differently. So you may have started off in this naive, gullible energy when in reality you really wasn't as naive and gullible as you probably thought you were. But when I say naive and gullible, just not knowing any better. Not knowing that you were people-pleasing, self-sacrificing, self-sabotaging. Now you know, though. You was connecting with people who would have abandoned your ass. Or probably did. You would have never done that. It's not your heart. It's not your soul. These motherfuckers, do they even have a soul? You damn near want to ask. Do you got a fucking soul? How can you do some shit like this? But don't cause yourself a damn aneurysm trying to figure it out. Just give yourself enlightenment. Knowing not to take anything personal, and that's just who they are. If a snake is a snake, they're not going to be of loyalty. They're not going to be, you know, like a dog, right? So some of y'all are mentally healing or being encouraged to. You're resting. This is mental for sure. But it can be in other forms, like taking a break, separating from people, cutting people off, distancing yourself, taking time out for yourself. You've been through a lot with people who were just watching you struggle and you carrying the load. They weren't doing shit but leeching, opportunists, using you to help them feel better. And they left you in this space to the point to where they not around no more, and you gotta build yourself back up. You gotta get your own finances back up. They not around no more. But it's okay. You know better now. A lot of things has hindered you, has even damn near interfered with your purpose in life. But they could never, I'm telling you, you won't break my soul. That Beyonce song. But yeah, this video will be uploaded to my YouTube, you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I return the collective's energy back to them. I release my energy back to me. You're in this giving and receiving energy because you're naturally a generous, genuine individual. So you're going to get that love life that you could have always dreamt of. That family life that you could have always dreamt of or created for yourself. Especially after loss. Come in. Thanks. Jonesy, get down. Stop, girl. So, yeah. It's giving pioneering. It's giving a fresh new start. Doing things that you probably never done before. Starting on things that you probably never started on before. Ooh. Outpouring energy. Giving all that love to yourself. Filling your cup back up. And not allowing anybody whose cup is not already filled to come into your space. If you're not healthy enough for me, you can't be over here. Friend, lover, family, I ain't doing it no more. Because like I said, you're a person that's very genuine, nurturing. Sometimes you sacrifice yourself for other people, and you be doing that for the wrong people. Now all of a sudden, you're not able to, you confused on your journey. Now all of a sudden, you being projected on. Now all of a sudden, you're not living in your purpose. Doing what you was supposed to do, doing what you're meant to do, feeling how you meant to feel, which is good. You meant to feel good in this life, you know? But I'm going to leave it at that. We can really go all day, but like I said, this video will be uploaded to my YouTube so you can have it and see it how many other times you want. A reminder, it's a timeless reading, so it can resonate any time in your life, even if it's a year from now. Okay? So, yeah. I'm glad you exist, honey. And like I said earlier, I return the collective's energy back to them, and I release my energy back to me. If you guys ever want to get on the list for readings, life coaching, questions, anything like that, you can just message me, especially if I'm not on live. But yeah, that's the end of the collective. I wish you the best in your life, and know that life can be what you always dreamt of it to be. All right, just keep them opportunities opportunists away from you. I'm telling you now, they're gonna ruin your damn life. But only you can ruin your own life. We give ourselves karma. Make wise decisions. All right? Trust in your wisdom. Your girl about to eat. All right? I hope you eat as well. Drink some water. Stay hydrated. Okay? Love you. See you in the next one. Thank you. Blessings. Of course. Thank you, honey. Thank you. But me and my dog, we will see y'all later in the next video. All right? Stay safe and dangerous. Remember, you are your most prized possession, your most cherished relationship, or you should cherish the relationship you have with yourself above all. All right?